Welcome to Japan Food by Sono. This is not a video about one dish. This is not even a video about one way of eating tuna. This is a story about how a single fish became a structure of knowledge, a set of rules, and a shared understanding that shaped how food is valued in Japan. In many countries, tuna is simply one option among many fish. In Japan, tuna is something people wait for, something people argue about, something people remember. To understand Japanese food culture, you cannot start with recipes. You have to start with tuna. Every year in Japan, the first tuna auction of the year is watched by the entire country. People outside Japan often focus on the price. The headlines show numbers, millions of yen, record-breaking bids. But the meaning of the first auction is not money. It is a ceremony, a public declaration that a new year has begun, that the sea has provided a game, that people are ready to work, to judge quality, and to pass standards forward. When a tuna from OMA is placed at the center of attention, it represents more than a fishing town. It represents trust, craft, and continuity. The first auction is not about buying the most expensive fish. It is about confirming what matters. Japan did not simply consume tuna. Japan defined how tuna should be understood. Over time, clear ideas were formed that not all tuna are the same, that species matter, that parts matter, that how a fish is used changes its value. This way of thinking turned tuna from a product into a system, from a fish into culture, and from culture into an economy. Markets, restaurants, and households all learn the same language, a shared standard that tells people what to expect, what to respect, and what is rare. This is why Japan became the reference point for tuna, not because of taste alone, but because of structure. To know tuna in Japan is to learn how value is built. Bluefin tuna, known in Japan as honmaguro, is often called the king of tuna. This reputation does not come from size alone. It comes from structure. Bluefin tuna has a unique balance of muscle and fat, especially in its belly. This allows cuts like Chutoro and Otoro to exist in the first place. Bluefin tuna grows large, lives long, and travels great distances. Because of this, its flesh develops depth, density, and complexity. In Japan, bluefin tuna is mainly used where its value can be fully judged. High-end sushi restaurants, special occasions, and moments where precision matters. This is not everyday tuna. It is tuna that defines standards. Southern bluefin tuna offers something different. It is valued not for extremes, but for stability. Its red meat is clean. Its fat distribution is consistent, and its texture is reliable throughout the year. Because of this, Southern bluefin tuna is highly respected by sushi chefs, not because it is flashy, but because it performs exactly as expected. It is often used for sashimi and sushi in traditional restaurants, where balance matters more than spectacle. This tuna supports craftsmanship. Bigeye tuna is the backbone of everyday tuna consumption in Japan. It is widely distributed, widely understood, and widely trusted. Bigeye tuna appears in sushi shops, bowls, and neighborhood restaurants across the country. Its flavor is straightforward, its texture adaptable, and its price accessible. This is the tuna that feeds cities. Not rare, not luxurious, but essential. Without Bigeye tuna, tuna culture in Japan would not function. Yellowfin tuna is lighter and more versatile. It is often used in homes, cafeterias, and large-scale food service. Its flesh is mild, its fat content low, making it suitable for marinated dishes, rice bowls, and cooked preparations. Yellowfin tuna is about volume and continuity. It allows tuna to exist in everyday meals. This is how tuna becomes part of life, not an event. In Japan, tuna is never just tuna. Each species has a role, each has a place, each has a value determined by how it is used. Bluefin defines standards. Southern bluefin supports balance. Bigeye sustains daily demand. Yellowfin keeps tuna accessible. Understanding tuna in Japan means understanding systems, not favorites. This is why tuna culture is layered, structured, and deeply intentional. Akami, the lean red meat, sits at the core of tuna flavor. It contains very little fat, but it carries depth, firmness, and a clear sense of the fish itself. Because there is no fat to hide imperfections, Akami depends entirely on freshness, handling, and cutting skill. When fresh, it is clean and precise. When old, it quickly loses value. This is why experienced diners often judge a tuna shop, not by its Otoro, but by its Akami. Akami is not simple, it is honest. Chutoro exists between muscle and fat. It is soft, but not loose, rich, but not overwhelming. This balance makes Chutoro appealing to the widest range of people. It satisfies those who want flavor, and those who want texture. However, Chutoro is not abundant. Only a limited section of the tuna naturally produces this balance. Because of this, Chutoro is often more limited than people expect. Its popularity and its scarcity meet at the same point. Otoro comes from the belly, where fat accumulates the most. Its texture is soft, its appearance pale, and its richness unmistakable. But Otoro is rare by structure. Even in a large tuna, only a small percentage of the body can become true Otoro. This is why Otoro is expensive, not because it is fashionable, but because it is physically limited. Otoro represents abundance, created by restriction. Tuna prices are not decided by taste alone. They are shaped by volume, distribution, timing, and how each part is used. Cuts that can be produced in large quantity become accessible. Cuts that appear only in small amounts become rare. In Japan, value is not emotional. It is calculated through structure. Understanding tuna means understanding why cheap and expensive exist, not as judgment, but as balance. Kama, the collar of the tuna, is not part of the main fillet. It sits near the head, connected to the body, holding both muscle and fat. When grilled with salt, the heat releases deep flavor and rich oil that cannot be found in lean cuts. Kama is valued not because it is elegant, but because it is powerful. In Japan, this part is not ignored. It is separated, named, and cooked with intention. This is how secondary parts gain primary value. Cheek meat comes from a part of the tuna that moves constantly. Because it is used for motion, the muscle is dense, and the flavor is strong. When cooked properly, cheek meat becomes tender, while retaining its depth. This cut is rarely eaten raw. Instead, it is grilled, fried, or seared. In Japan, cooking is not used to hide flaws. It is used to reveal what a part is meant to do. Cheek meat shows how purpose defines value. Nikauchi and negitoro come from areas close to the bone. These parts cannot be taken as clean fillets. They must be scraped, separated, and gathered. What remains is soft, rich meat, often mixed with seasonings, broiled, or placed over rice. This is not waste. This is design. In Japan, value is not only found in perfection, it is found in how carefully the remaining parts are used. Negitoro represents a philosophy. Nothing is ignored, and nothing is accidental. In sushi, tuna becomes a finished system. The same fish that exists in markets and homes is transformed into something that must be controlled. Thickness matters, temperature matters, timing matters. A sushi chef chooses a cut not only for flavor, but for how it reacts to rice. Even the fat level changes the approach. Akami needs clean firmness. Chutoro needs balance. Otoro needs restraint, because too much richness can break the rhythm of eating. Sushi is not simply raw fish. It is an optimized form of tuna, built through repeated decisions. This is why tuna sushi feels like a final answer in Japan. At home, tuna becomes practical. Here, tuna is not judged by ceremony. It is judged by usefulness. A bowl of rice, a simple plate of sashimi, or a quick marinade. In many Japanese homes, tuna appears in the most human way, as an easy meal after work, as food for children, as something shared without explanation. This is where tuna stops being special and becomes normal. And that is one of the most important forms of value, not luxury. Continuity. In an izakaya, tuna becomes social food. The goal is not perfection. The goal is comfort. Tuna is grilled, fried, and shared. Kamayaki, Tezuka age, seared bites. Food that matches drinks and conversation. Here, tuna is part of a table that keeps moving. Plates arrive. People talk. Someone orders one more round. In this setting, tuna is not a masterpiece. It is a reliable pleasure. And that reliability is exactly why it belongs in izakaya culture. In high-end Japanese restaurants, tuna becomes restrained. The chef does not try to impress with quantity. The chef tries to show judgment. A smaller portion, a cleaner plate, a specific cut, cooked with a precise method. Sometimes it is lightly seared. Sometimes it is simmered. Sometimes it is served almost plain. Because the point is to let the ingredients speak. The people eating here are not chasing the best. They are enjoying decisions. This is another side of tuna, not popularity, but selection. Outside Japan, tuna is often treated very differently. In many countries, tuna means processed. Canned tuna, tuna steak, grilled, mixed, or preserved. The focus is not on cut or structure, but on convenience and protein. This is not wrong. It is simply another value system. Tuna travels easily. It freezes well. It fits global logistics. That is why tuna became one of the first truly global fish. But what is lost in this system is detail. the difference between Akami and Toro, the idea that one fish contains many roles, the concept of choosing a cut for a moment. Japan did not invent tuna, but Japan gave tuna complexity. Today, tuna exists under strict control, fishing limits, size regulations, seasonal rules, and aquaculture. Farm tuna is not a shortcut, it is a response. Without management, tuna disappears. Japan now treats tuna not only as food, but as a resource that must be maintained. Aquaculture allows consistency, traceability, and future planning, but it also raises questions. How much should be farmed? What should remain wild? How do we balance demand and survival? Every piece of tuna eaten today exists because someone decided how much was allowed to exist. That reality is now part of the taste. Tuna is not just a fish, it is structure. Different species, different cuts, different uses, different places, from luxury counters to family tables, from global trade to controlled oceans. When you understand tuna, you stop asking which is best. You start asking, why this, here, now? And that question changes how it tastes. Tuna remains a fish, but in Japan, it also remains a system. And once you see the system, you never look at tuna the same way again. Not just a fish, it is structure, different species, different cuts, different uses, different places, from luxury counters to family tables, from global trade to controlled oceans. When you understand tuna, you stop asking which is best. You start asking, why this, here, now? And that question changes how it tastes. Tuna remains a fish, but in Japan, it also remains a system. And once you see the system, you never look at tuna the same way again.